Hello, everyone. We are back. We're going to go into 2 Kings chapter 10. Bible study is on for today. The link is in the chat. Please join us. You don't even have to bring your Bible. I'm gonna show Bible, and then you guys can just follow us there. So we'll see you guys in 5 minutes to do 2 Kings chapter 10. See you soon. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Solid.
Doing well.
Excellent. Scott, great to have you with us. Scott, we've only had you here a couple of times, so especially glad to have you. With all due respect to everyone else who were just normal excited to have here. Um, Yoav, is there specifically kosher for Passover snacks? Like, not chips, but like, I don't know, unleavened something that is only a snack for Passover? Like a bag of chips.
There are some cookies that you make from cocos. Or,
Nice.
also, the European tradition is to give nuts to the kids to play.
Nuts?
Nuts for the kids to play with. But I guess some of it will get eaten afterwards.
The only way I can imagine a kid would play with nuts is just to throw them at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly there are games that you can play like with marbles before the invention of marbles. But
Hey,
it's a tradition from Europe. I don't think it's very much maintained nowadays.
I mean, to my understanding, don't they play with marbles on Hanukkah? Or no, that's dreidels.
It's a top.
Hanukkah, you have a spinning top.
I wanted to, before we fully start, thank everyone for their patience as well. I've been asking everyone to pray for my father-in-law, Brian. He has dementia and he's going into a home, and in around this time, we think possibly because of the stress. Last week, my wife had a seizure. And I had to pick her up and bring her to the hospital, and that's why we weren't able to do Bible study last week. So I really appreciate everyone praying for my father-in-law, and ask that you also, a couple of you have actually met my wife Katie at this point too. Just keep us in your prayers in this time. We think we're going in a good direction. It's not terrible, but we definitely need to be kept in prayer at this time. So would appreciate that. My cat is upset that he's not included in Bible study.
And happy Passover, everyone.
Yeah, happy Passover, especially to Yoav.
Yeah.
And to Michael, who is a shiksa, as has been previously established.
No, I think you got the term wrong, but never mind.
I know, but people use the term shiksa more than the male equivalent. Never mind.
Yes,
Okay.
but I don't see how it relates to the situation at hand.
Okay. Never mind. All right. Maybe I just did that.
Can I read first since I didn't get to read last time?
Yes, Kirk. As long as the sound continues good. We're gonna go in. This is a great. I keep on saying this, but it's just because of the section of scripture that we're in. Everything sounds like a mafia hit. So we're gonna do another great stint from The Godfather, in Bible today. So sorry, Kirk. All right.
Is this the horse-headed bed episode then, or the equivalent?
Essentially, I mean, if you saw the photo that I put, it was Brad Pitt from the movie Seven, but saying "What's in the basket" instead of "What's in the box." So, Kirk, give us a read, will you?
Now Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria, so Jehu wrote letters and sent them to Samaria, to the rulers of the city, to the elders, and to the guardians of the sons of Ahab, saying, Now then, as soon as there are with you chariots and horses, fortified cities also, and weapons, select the best and fittest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, the two kings could not stand before him. How then can we stand? So he who was over the palace and he who was over the city, together with the elders and the guardians, sent to Jehu, saying, We are your servants, and we will do all that you tell us. We will not make anyone king. Do whatever is good in your eyes. Then he wrote to them a second letter, saying, If you are on my side, and if you are ready to obey me, take the heads of
Sorry.
your master's sons and come to me at Jezreel tomorrow at this time. Now the king's sons,
Let's,
70.
let's pause 1 second because there was an important line there. So he's going to get some people on the inside to kill the king's sons. But look what they said. We are your servants, and we will do all that you tell us to do. Do whatever is good in your eyes. I think we are supposed to understand this. Yes, this is God's judgment coming on to Ahab's family, but at the same time, it also is understood in the context of brutality that is the book of Judges, right? That's the repeat in Judges over and over again, doing what's right in their own eyes. I don't know if that expression is ever used in a good way. Can anyone think of it being used in a good way? Do what is right in your own eyes.
I thought it was kind of like a little bit of a mixed signal in Judges, like when Joseph was talking about it way back. Because it started off, like the book starts off with everybody's doing what is wicked in God's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, people have a conscience, but, human consciences are very fallible. So,
Yeah. This actually kind of reminds me of the Metamorphoses by Franz Kafka, where they, when they take it into their own hands, they mistreat Gregor Samsa because he's not productive for them. So that's the danger of taking things into your own hands, is that you become selfish.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you disappointed? Are you disappointed with me?
No, I'm just thinking about what Michael was saying because I get what Michael's saying, but I don't know. The first time it appears in the text is Samson being attracted to the wrong girl, and we do know that God uses that, but it's still.
he was attracted to the right girl. God made him attracted to that girl.
God used the fact
I mean,
that
right in the sense that was designed to be the proximate cause for is like judgment on the Philistines.
yes,
But
yeah.
that's like a Hosea Gomer marriage situation there.
Yeah. Samson is into goth baddies and not realizing that the Lord will have to use that for everyone's downfall, including his own.
Yeah, because God is into goth baddies too. That's the thing.
You had to go there, Michael. That's excellent.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Christianity, the bride of Christ, the image is a redeemed whore. That's what it is. That is what the bride of Christ is.
Right.
And you can't be a redeemed whore without starting off as a regular whore. So
I would say for God, though, that he doesn't have any other options. There's not like a well put together nice lady that he can.
yeah, he had one. He just said, I'll let her be my mother instead.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for this. Yoav, do you have anything you want to throw into this at this point? No. Okay. Just making sure. Where were we? I think we were on 6. Stephen, will you start us at verse 6, please?
Aww.
Sure. I can sort. There you go. Then he wrote to them a second letter saying, If you are on my side, and if you are ready to obey me, take the heads of your master's son and come to me at Jezreel tomorrow at this time. Now the king's sons, 70 persons, were with the great men of the city, who were bringing them up. And as soon as the letter came to them, they took the king's sons and slaughtered them, 70 persons, and put their heads in baskets, and sent them to him at Jezreel. I suppose you want me to stop there.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could take a pause there for sure.
You do have a
Uh,
title for this.
Yeah. There's the heads in the baskets. This to me sounds a bit the 70. Again, because we got to call back to Judges. The beginning of Judges is about someone that dismembered 70 other kings. That's the story of Adonai-Bezek. Adonai-Bezek cut off the thumbs and big toes of 70 kings. So this,
and Abimelech, who kills 70 brothers to become king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Is it just another one of these instances where 70 is a place marker for a lot?
Like a perfect lot, I guess.
No. Like for a large number, 70 is just used instead of saying a large number, or it's there's other numbers that are like that. When you have multiplicity, they use a certain number rather than saying it's an undefined number.
So you'd be okay if it was 65 and they're just rounding up, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that instead of saying that just the meaning of, there's a second meaning of that, which is a larger number of people.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree. Why baskets? What's the deal with the baskets? Is it just for transportation sake, or is that representative of anything?
Oh, I'll bet this is a word thing. We should get Yoav to tell us what word it is and what it really means.
Well, the word is dud, and dud is more like a container of water, for heating. If you want to heat some water, you put them in a dud, and so it's probably made of metal.
Like a pot or a cauldron?
Yeah, cauldron. But I don't know. They didn't have metal cauldron that time, so I don't really know what this word, what implement this word used to refer to in those times.
Is it the same word that's used in Zechariah to send where the two female angels fly the pot away to Babylonia?
Most likely to be more important than a basket.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking of Joseph with the dream of the baker and the cupbearer. Didn't the baker have baskets of bread that symbolized his death?
Yeah, that were on his head. Yeah. I was wondering myself in it. It's a different word because I know that the word for ark, the basket that Moses is placed in, it's symbolic of like the image of God, like the ark being carried. Like the ark is a place for the image to be residing. But I'm something about the head being the image of the person and the heads in baskets. It's but I don't know what I'm doing there.
How many nations in the table of nations? Was that 70 as well?
It's 70 or 72, I believe, depending on. I think there's like a debate on the number. So it's. I think you're bang on. Like
That's what it made me. It reminded me of that, and then also reminded me of how the nations were given up to individual gods, and how this may map on top of the Christ rectifying that.
Yeah, because that's the number of tongues, like different languages that are mentioned in Pentecost. That's good. But this would be, I like what you're saying, because like we have so many Psalms about God putting himself against the kings of this world, right? The nations of the world, they rise up against the Lord and his anointed. And so that image of like the hostile kings, and that's related to the 70. I like that.
Are those 70
It's
nations?
also, I mean, if they're, I guess, a sort of like image of the kings, it's notable that this is him cutting off a relationship, which is a contrast to Ahab, whose problem is being too entangled with the other nations.
Right. Yeah, making the wrong, like, this is a guy who's not making treaties with anyone.
Are those 70 nations ever named?
In the Table of Nations, I believe they are. I'm going to say yes. In Genesis, yes. In Deuteronomy 32, they aren't. It just says when the Most High divided the nations, it's not given the list. Yeah. These guys, as soon as they get the letter, they're immediately slaughtering them. I immediately think about, and I wonder if Yoav has thoughts on this, the how. How do you do this? Like, it's Jason made a joke about, like, talk about a surprise party. I think by the fifth guy, they know what's happening.
Yeah, it wasn't by surprise. It was an orderly act of the city, of the government of the city.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Kirk, I'm gonna...
I mean, it's just... it is meant to sound unbelievable. It is meant like anybody who reads it will say, well, I would have never done such a thing.
I'm getting little flashes of the French Revolution, though, where, like, the revolution comes and then it's like you're in a lineup and you know it's like you get numbers 65 in the list, you know? And you're just waiting, watching person after person.
Yeah.
I think also, like, if the number is like big and symbolic, that it's also like sort of like ancient Near Eastern battle rhetoric that's sort of supposed to communicate a decisive end to the lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like inflated, violent hyperbole.
For sure. I think I told people this as well. My name, Busuttil, probably comes from the Arabic, like a bastardization of the Arabic Abu Satin, meaning father of 60, which they don't take to be literal. They think it probably refers to someone who's in charge of like a military unit of 60 people. And we've had some sort of conversation about that. So the image of 70, it would also at that time be a security of your line. Like you have so many replacements that the idea that there would be any danger of his line going out of existence, which is what God said the punishment is going to be, you wouldn't see that as a danger at all. If you have 70 kids, you're secure. You're in a firm position. It's more than enough people to defend a stronghold.
Okay. I was wondering who was the day, what is the organization that is executing the slaughter? And the text is very explicit about it. There's one person who is the minister of the palace. And there's another person who is the minister of the city, the mayor of the city. And there's the council of the city, the old people. And then there are people that are entrusted with raising the kids. So it's a convention of all the relevant ministers and all everybody who has any official position that is relevant. They're acting in unison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you couldn't really. Yeah, it kind of shows a total turnover that they really do need everyone against them. It's a brutal image.
Yeah, but
maybe again a number
it says a lot about the politics, because where did I ever see a city of Jews in which everybody agrees on their course of action? Something is, let's say, not Jewish about this city.
I don't know to what extent Ahab's children are Jews. I know, you know what I mean? I don't know if that would be their cultural background.
Yeah, but the city of Samaria doesn't seem to me, doesn't behave like a. I don't recognize my people in there.
Okay.
Not only because of the slaughter, because of this acting in unison, of being regimented.
That's good.
I mean,
Scott,
does it have to be the entire city, or just the minority that's trying to overthrow the coup?
Well, I mean, I said everybody who has any official position that is relevant. But they don't say anything about the army. It's the minister in charge of their house, minister in charge of the city. So it's basically the civilian authorities. No mention about the army. They must be doing a calculation that the army is with the new king.
Well, a similar episode happened near the end of Samuel when Joab was laying siege to a city, and basically they said, like, if you cut off the leader of the head and throw it out to us, we'll let you guys go. That's what happened.
Right.
This is like the army's not at the gates, but you're mid coup, and it's sort of could be the sort of thing where they realize, like, the writing's on the wall, and we're not going to wait for the army, because if we wait for the army, we're probably not going to be extending much mercy.
Yeah, but the letter said you have the horses and the chariot and the city and the fortress and the weapons. So in this case, it says the army is with you. The army is not around you. It's not a siege. The letter says you have the army at your disposal. And the civilian authorities are thinking to themselves, no, we don't. The army is in the city, but we are the civilian authorities. We don't know who is actually commanding the army.
Well, I think this is the case where they see the speed with which the last two kings were overthrown by Jehu, and they're like, something bigger than just force of arms is going on here. They're crippling beneath the weight of Jehu's propaganda.
Yeah, that's the religion aspects. I think more likely they say that if the new king has beat the two new other kings, it means that the army is with him.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
having got that you said as well is also as a benefit.
Yeah. Okay, I want to continue. I think this conversation will continue as we get more details for it. Scott, would you do us a favor and read from?
Aww.
Kurt, you gotta calm down. Just read this section here. Kurt, you'll read next, okay?
When the messenger came and told him, they have brought the heads of the king's sons, he said, lay them to 2 heaps at the entrance of the gate until the morning. Then in the morning, when he went out, he stood and said to all the people, you are innocent. It was I who conspired against my master and killed him. But who struck down all these? Know then that there shall fall to the earth nothing of the word of the Lord, which the Lord spoke concerning the house of Ahab. For the Lord has done what he said by his servant Elijah. So Jehu struck down all who remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, all his great men and his close friends and his priests, until he left him none remaining.
Thank you very much. Picturing just the pile of heads too, like 70 heads. That's so many heads in a pile.
You don't normally see that.
No, it's not something you see every day. You don't often see 70.
I mean, at most, like 5 on a busy weekday. Come on.
Right.
Seriously, think about that. Like when you're trying to pick like 70 heads, lay them in 2 heaps at the entrance of the gate until the morning. Now, I think there's an importance in this because,
Yeah.
again, like we discussed this previously, this is according to Deuteronomy disrespectful to the bodies, and that they shouldn't be left overnight. They should be buried beforehand. Now, me and Yosef disagree over the interpretation of this. They would say that the person is cursed who leaves someone on a tree overnight, whereas I think that these lynchings were as though to present someone as being cursed by God. Right? Is you put on display a defeated king to show that the Lord has utterly destroyed and cursed them.
Mm-hmm.
Is bad, and you are, I don't know. Yeah, I do think it's complicated. I might be coming around to Yosef's perspective, because it does seem to be glad when people give people burials. Yeah. Yeah. Chezi is also
Well,
on
they
that
didn't leave
side.
the bodies out, just the head.
I think the heads are an important part of the body, though, aren't they? It's not like leaving out a finger or something.
I would probably disagree with you, just because Israel's called out to be a set aside people, and that seems like something, I don't know, a vampire would do by leaving heads on a stake for all to witness. That just seems more the norm for the times, and I would think that they were called to be different.
Oh, I'm not sure the brutality here is endorsed. This is like narrative description. But, I think you're expected to judge and ask questions about, the methods Jehu employed to accomplish what he's told to do.
Yeah. Honestly, we haven't talked about this in such a long time. Like the last time that there was a lynching of sorts or a body left out, that I've really put more effort into thinking about it. And I think I'm coming around to that perspective that the other nations did this practice of putting bodies on display, and that Israel, in respecting even the body of a human being as the image of God, that they weren't supposed to do this sort of thing. But it is, without a doubt, it's a pretty impressive thing to do, right? They didn't even have, Don was asking why 2 heaps. To me, the gate, the entrance, like in a lot of these places, you would have representatives of the city on, like, at the two the 2 sides of the gates. Sometimes for advocacy purposes, sometimes in famously the Code of Hammurabi would have people on the sides shouting out, preaching what the law was. So you can imagine if you're coming in and there's just a pile of heads on both sides of there, right? Like that's what's flanking the entrance of the city. That makes a statement. It's a pretty powerful statement. Yoav, can I ask your opinion on the cursed is anyone who's hung on a tree? Do you think the curse is on the one doing the hanging or on the person hung?
No, I'm not a rabbi. I will not have an opinion on a matter of halacha.
Okay.
My point of view is just not something that we Jews are doing. Just never mind who is who. It's just not done.
Yeah.
Is it possibly a sort of like double entendre law where it's like worded ambiguously to say like, look, the one, like, it sucks to be the guy who's hanging, and it also is horrendous to be the guy who does the hanging. A curse on both your houses.
I like that. Well, let's go with that one. How about that? Let's do the one where I am right, but I'm also wrong at the same time.
Abundance.
Did I do it? Did I split the baby?
You split the baby.
Okay. Sandra is asking why two hips. First, it's a matter of geometry. If you have small hips, then you see more heads than if you have them in one hip. Second, it's a matter of presentation. If you're sitting and giving a speech between two piles, it's more impressive than sitting next to one pile.
Yeah, that's good. It makes quite a statement. Yeah, it's the body in God's image. I accept this. I saw something, sorry, just in reference to what you were saying, Matt. I saw a meme. I can't find it right now. Oh, there it is. I found the meme. Let me present it to the. Okay. Sorry. Which is this meme. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's the baby about to be split in half, and it just says, "Is it cake?" Okay, let's continue on. And Kirk, why don't you give us a read? How about that? Sorry, 1 second. We're at 12.
Out and went to Samaria. On the way, he was at Beth-eked of the shepherds. Jehu met the relatives of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and he said, "Who are you?" And they answered, "We are the relatives of Ahaziah, and we came down to visit the royal princes and the sons of the queen mother." He said, "Take them alive." And they took them alive and slaughtered them at the pit of Beth-eked, 42 persons, and he spared none of them.
Man, okay.
This is the first hint that I see that actually Jezebel had a problem with sexual fidelity. Because they're making a distinction between the kids, with the childs of the king and the childs of the queen. I still don't get it, but I cannot deny that the reference is there.
Interesting.
Also, 42 other children of Jezebel. That's a productive woman.
Yeah, that's a very productive woman. Yeah, I wonder.
No. 42 is not Jezebel. It's the relatives of Ahaziah.
And the sons of the queen. Okay, these are the people coming down to visit them. Yeah, and we can definitely see the idea of loyalties, that it's not just about killing people, it's about essentially, it's like a coup, right? These are people who are friends or the advisors of the children and the queen mother. Image of them being taken alive too, just to be slaughtered. I'd like to say too, as we were talking about, like, the image of the possibility that Jehu is cursed, like that he's doing some pretty shady stuff, that he was immediately lined up with, it immediately lined him up with the Book of Judges, and repeated Judges references make me think that this is not a dude who we're supposed to fully be on the side of.
It's never a good thing if you're compared with Abimelech.
Yeah, he's not the guy that you want to be lined up with.
A comment to Chezi. This reads like the secular Israeli nightmare scenario. We have an Israel that is globalist and liberal and progressive, and we have the government overturned and the establishment of a theocracy. And you ask, what is the sin that of the left that has enabled the transition? And that is the Navot affair and the corruption of the judicial system, which the prophecy is that the corruption of the judicial system in secular Israel opens the door to the theocracy. It's serious business.
But part of what opens the door for it too is that one guy is able to promise, because of the previous generation, that he's going to clean out the swamp, right? That promise allows someone to come in. Like, one of the ways that I've thought about it is you can accomplish far more brutality if it's understood as defensive, right? That if you interpret it as defense, we're coming in and we're restoring or something like that, then some pretty crazy things can take place. Yeah, so that even if Jehu is, I think there's a couple of hints against Jehu, but it's still, he's an instrument of justice. He is an instrument of justice. It's just when so many people need justice, it is going to be chaos. It's not pretty. Which is part of why Michael's people, Michael Sartori's people, the Italians, the Italians from Italy, why there's images of the Godfather. Because at the end of the Godfather, Michael is not a good man, but you still really respect him bringing justice on the people that murdered his family.
He's better than everybody else that follows the same code of honor that he follows.
That's right. Yeah, that's a way of thinking about it. Yeah, but you're really rooting for him when all these people are getting massacred at the end of the movie. Yeah. And that's how I think you're supposed to feel about 42 people getting massacred at a pit after there was piles of heads at the entrance of a city. Someone read, but not Kurt. Kurt, you just read. We got to spread the wealth, Kurt. Stephen, will you read for us?
I will read. And when he departed from there, he met Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him. And he greeted him and said to him, "Is your heart true to my heart, as mine is to yours?" And Jehonadab answered, "It is." Jehu said, "If it is, give me your hand." So he gave him his hand, and Jehu took him up with him into the chariot. And he said, "Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord." And so he had him ride in the chariot.
Yeah, keep going.
And when he came to Samaria, he struck down all who remained to Ahab in Samaria, till he had wiped them out, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke to Elijah.
Yeah, this is weird. This is weird because it sounds like he's doing a little bit of a hate crime here. Like the intensity of it seems overblown, but he is saying that it's his zeal for the Lord.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing God's will, doesn't it?
And again, that phrase puts him in line with guys like Phineas, the high priest, who also does a horrendously violent act, but he gets nothing but divine praise for it.
Are you talking about, is he the guy who, in the Balaam story, spears the guy through?
Yes.
Okay. That is who I was thinking too. The zeal that holds that guy. The Levite who does that.
What does it mean about Jehonadab here? Isn't he a descendant of Jethro?
I can't remember.
I think he's a descendant of Jethro.
Let me check.
He ends up coming up in Daniel too. He comes up.
Yeah, he's Daniel. A Kenite. Yeah, you're right. He's a Kenite.
Yeah. And his son or grandson comes up in Daniel. They're the ones that are in Daniel that are said go and drink wine, and they refuse to drink wine.
Yeah, his name means Hashem is willing. So that notion of action, of like taking action. Okay. Jason had a whole thing about the guy coming up in the chariot, said it's a big deal because he drives crazy. He drives crazy, and then he has this guy in his chariot. I don't know what to do with that. Jason
It's
is not
another
here.
loyalty test. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Well, he's going to drive with zeal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Matt, I'm really glad that you brought up that story. Did you say it's Phineas? It's Pinhas in that story?
Yeah.
Or did
Yeah.
you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Numbers 25.
That was the same story. I couldn't remember the guy's name for a second, but that was the same story that I was thinking of too, where it's like, the level of passion, and to what extent God uses that, even if it goes beyond, it's still like counted as good.
Well, yeah.
I don't understand. This Yonadav, son of Rechav, how old is he at the time?
Why is that important to you?
Of which generation he is? He appears in the Bible, but in which generation?
Oh, it sounds like there's a reference to him in the book of Jeremiah. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, only?
Yeah, it's 2 Kings 10 and Jeremiah 35. These are the only places.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant Jeremiah. I think I said Daniel.
Oh, and
Okay.
It's his descendants that are referenced in Jeremiah.
Okay. And he said he's of the Kenite tribe.
Yes, and they're the group that will be nomads who don't drink wine. He makes a tribe of Luddites.
So, question, why is this? I mean, it's quite a number of sentences here. Or it's like quite a long sentence. Why is this mentioned? What's the point? I mean, it's not an important political figure in Israel. Okay, so on the way of killing sort of a few hundred people, he met somebody who's a nobody, and they were friends.
But he's a descendant. He's a descendant of Jethro, who has organizational ability.
And his descendants become a notable tribe later on.
I know, but
this guy.
What is the role of the Kenites in this generation in Israel? And I'm suspecting that they are not only in agreement. I suspect that they are in the root of the political turnaround. I think it's more of the seed of the rebellion.
Maybe it's to show that God is with Jehu.
Well,
in case you thought he was acting too crazily, you have this guy who is the
and Jehonadab is a reference to the divine. His name includes reference to the divine name, but he's not an Israelite, right? The Kenites, to some extent, they're borderline characters who sometimes are good and sometimes are bad. And in this story, you can see this image of someone who is on side and actually is a worshiper of the God of Israel.
Yeah.
What's her name? Yael. Jael is also a Kenite, right? A borderline character who you think could go either way.
But Jehonadab is his. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Yoav.
What is the exchange? Is your heart straight with me, like my heart is straight with you? So causally, I mean chronologically, it is the Israeli new king that is conforming with Yonadav, and he's asking, well, I am conforming with you. Are you also conforming with me? Which means, do you agree that what I was doing was to, I thought I was acting to your liking. Do you agree that I indeed, I got it right? It's a very loaded sentence, and I'm really suspecting that Yonadav ben Rechav is the instigator of this rebellion rather than Eliyahu and Elisha.
But think about Jehonadab. He's descended from Jethro, right? And
Yes.
his ancestor is going to be a person that God, by God's word to him, pardons him because he didn't drink the wine as his fathers told him not to. In fact,
Oh.
yeah. So this, it's not a nobody. This is his descendant is going to be talked directly by God, saying, "You are right, and my people are wrong."
Yes, this is my point. The question is, who started? Who was the spark that ignited the rebellion? And I'm saying it's Yonadav and the Kenite tribe rather than the Elisha and Eliyahu.
Right. So, Yoav, your point is that this is not a nobody who comes into the story. Like, he shows up at this point in the story, but we have reason to believe, based on how he appears in this story and how he appears in other places, that this guy is actually a major influential person.
Yeah, well, he's the organizer, right? And Yehu is the
No, I say Yonadav is the marks for the Yeruz Lenin.
Well, and there's something about, like, in the Elijah story, Elijah gets taken up into a chariot, right? We have reference to Elijah here, the promise made to Elijah, and we have someone being pulled up into a chariot, right? You're not just anyone gets to ride in the chariot with the king, right? It's a major thing to be brought into this thing. In fact, these ancient chariots would oftentimes have like thrones almost be part of what the chariot was when the king was on it.
That's an interesting pull, the idea that Jehu drives like his chariot's on fire.
I like that. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, this should appeal to Chezi, because Chezi keeps insisting that the Gentiles have a role in the godly plan that is as important as that of the Jews. And we keep seeing those tribes that is not Jewish, the Kenites, and we keep seeing them appearing whenever sort of we needed help, and we strayed from the right path, and we needed somebody to put us back on path. They keep appearing.
Yeah. Even Nebuchadnezzar, right? He pardoned Jeremiah when Jeremiah was going to be killed by his own people.
Yoav, I want things to become more complicated. Can you translate this translate this directly in Hebrew? Go to where it says it in Hebrew, because there's words that are missing.
What is Jonadab ben Rechav said?
And Jonadab answered, "It is Jehu said."
Well, it's very clear, but it's a bit unusual use of Hebrew.
But
because of the sort of using the B as like the word is. Like auxiliary. Okay, but I will translate it. So Jehu says to Yonatan, is your heart straight as mine heart is straight with your heart. So is your heart as straight with me like my heart is straight with you? So the two question here, the relation one way and the relations the other way. And Yonadav says yes and yes. And the way he says it is and is.
Is and is.
Because is and is, because is it is used as like an auxiliary verb here.
Yeah, the way yours is, mine is, or double is like an exclamation mark.
No, because there are two questions: the relationship one way and the relationship the other way.
So is and is. Okay. Continue translating.
Oh, give your hand. So he gave his hand, and he put him up on the
Okay,
chariot.
but this is the thing. Jehu said is not in the text. It literally says is if is give me your hand.
No, Yonadav said.
That's what
Yonadav
I
said
mean.
is and is, yes.
But
Now somebody said give your hand, and I don't know who said to whom give your hand.
Yeah.
That is not clear. Somebody said to one of them said to the other, give me your hand. Anyway, they joined hands.
Well, so that's the thing. Jehu said is in the Septuagint. It's not in the Hebrew. In Hebrew, it just says it is.
Mhm.
If it is, give me your hand. So like
No, not if. Not if. No if.
So is give me your hand.
Okay, I said it's Yonadav. So Yonadav said, yes, it is and it is.
Yeah.
Give me your hand. I mean, you
Yeah.
can add the so his because the so is implied.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, it's very cryptic, but in this case, I don't think there's any problem. Whoever sort of said it doesn't matter because they're in complete agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last line there definitely implies that this is a mimicking of Elijah, right, going up.
Yeah. Okay, are we ready to continue?
I'm ready.
Okay, Kirk, read for me. Read slow and epically, okay?
Then Jehu assembled all the people and said to them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu will serve him much.
I'm
Let
really
therefore-
sorry, Kirk, but there is sound in wherever you are. It is very loud. Can you switch rooms?
Is this better?
I mean, there's still something in the background. I don't know what it is. Sounds like the TV is on.
Okay, let me turn off my fan and see if that works. Is this better?
Yes, it is. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Verse 18.
Then Jehu assembled all the people and said to them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu will serve him much. Now therefore call to me all the prophets of Baal, and all his worshippers, and all his priests. Let none be missing, for I have a great sacrifice to offer to Baal. Whoever is missing shall not live. But Jehu did it with cunning in order to destroy the worshippers of Baal. And Jehu ordered, Sanctify a solemn assembly for Baal. So they worshipped it, and Jehu sent throughout all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left who did not come. And they entered the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was filled from one end to the other. He said to him who was in charge of the wardrobe, Bring out the vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. So he brought out the vestments for them. Then Jehu went into the house of Baal with Jehonadab, the son of Rahab. And he said to the worshippers of Baal, Search and see that there is no servant of the Lord here among you, but only the worshippers of Baal. Then they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings.
Okay, excellent. So he says, we're throwing a festival. Bring all your Baal worshipers. It's gonna be like a big celebration for Baal. Yoav does not believe that this happened. Who are these idiots who showed up? It's so obvious. It's so obviously a trap, isn't it, Yoav? Why did they show up? that's your head, right? Like that's the voice, your voice in my head, is it not? It's saying that. Okay. Good. Matt, are you in a place where you can read?
I'll duck in a little bit and see if I can find a corner here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
How's this?
Yes.
Okay. Well, up at now Yahoo.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Oh. Now Yahoo had stationed 80 men outside and said, "The man who allows any of these whom I give into your hands to escape shall forfeit his life." So as soon as he'd made an end of offering the burnt offering, Yehu said to the guard and the officers, "Go in and strike them down. Let not a man escape." So when they put them to the sword, the guard and the officers cast them out and went into the inner room with the house of Baal. And they brought out the pillar that was in the house of Baal and burned it. And they demolished the pillar of Baal and demolished the house of Baal and made it a latrine to this day.
So what does that mean? When they're done with it, what do? They
They
piss on
shit
it.
on their grave.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That image that we've seen in so many like movies where at the end someone like literally takes a leak on something to show just how much he destroyed it. Or in like Fortnite when people are just ducking over and over again.
Or if you're old like me, the Halo teabagging. Mm-hmm.
Yes. That is actually what I was thinking of. I just tried to make it more modern. Yeah. So what's interesting though is that they make sure that it's only people that actually worship Baal, because I have mixed feelings about this. He says, go ahead and worship your God. So he actually approves of them making doing a worship service for Baal so that he could get them all together and kill them all in one swoop. But he also, I don't know, it sounds like he may have even paid for this, which I have mixed feelings for.
I mean, this feels like sort of something that's kind of in the lineage of David. It's sort of like foxy, questionable thing. He's doing the questionable improvisation, like subverting the concrete rules for the sake of a greater good.
Yeah.
It's interesting how people are always like, let's serve this bad god by like, you know, doing more and better quality. Like, how come nobody's like, since this god's evil, let's serve him really half-assed? Like, why don't people like, you know, it's that weird inconsistency of it that I guess, you know, it's kind of nonsensical, but that's why that's like the nature of evil, because it's parasitic.
I like, Michael, I like how you always have fun. I like how you bring your own fun into any passage of scripture. You find something fun to do with it, and I really like that about you.
You could say it's benevolent. They let them worship their god before they kill them. Right?
I mean, if that plunges them deeper into hell, I don't see that as benevolent.
Well, but they wouldn't think so. The people worshiping wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
you give them a final.
Because people ate the offerings too. Dawn is saying it's like the last meal for a death row prisoner.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that image that they get a little bit of brisket before they go. Good for them. Dawn was also, the first time around, said this reminded her of the royal wedding, the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones. And without a doubt, we got two stories that both have these real mobster or like horrific kind of ends to it where everyone gets slaughtered, not a man escapes. We got two of them. One is like the lineup to the guillotine, and then we have a story that is like a Red Wedding thing where you like, yeah, if you film it, you make it look like everything's going well. Yeah.
Okay. Why did the prophets of the Baal fall for it? You have the king coming into the ceremony, and the king is offering the sacrifice. I mean, he was doing the show all the way in, and
Yeah.
and he was.
I would like to say 1 second to Grim. There's two different channels that are showing this. So we have 2 and 2. So 2 are watching on Leviathan for play, 2 are watching on Federecci's channel. Yeah, it's still more on screen.
I guess that's a bad thing.
No, I'm happy with this. This
Yeah.
is lots of fun. 50 people will watch this in the next week, so what do I care? Taxon. I'm sorry, Yoav, you were saying. What was the problem that you're having?
No, I was not having problem. I was saying that the deception was so profound because the king was offering the sacrifice to the Baal himself. And nobody really knew about the religion that Yahoo believes in except Yonadav. Because he was just behaving like a normal normal general who's leading a coup.
Right. Right. At the beginning of a new kingship, you'd make sacrifices and things like that. You'd like establish your order at the beginning of it. So it would be very common for when the coronation occurs for there also to be huge worshiping of the gods. So he may be positioning this as like, I just took over Ahab's kids, I killed all of them. So now now that I'm the one taking over, I'd like to worship all the gods so that the gods aren't offended, kind of a thing. That might be the image that's brought forward.
Yeah, the only indication that they would have about Yehu's real religion is to see Yonadav with him on the chariot. So nobody really knew Yonadav and nobody really knew what role he was playing. So he's really the mastermind behind it, and he keeps to the shadows.
Isn't that usually the way power works?
Yes.
The deep state, if you will, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a
no,
deep
this
state.
is very interesting. I know.
It's more of a global name, but there are too many nations involved in this game, except Israel, and there's it's complicated geopolitical situation all over the Middle East at the moment.
You don't say.
And I mean, at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just happened, but not by chance, that generation of the Middle East was complicated.
Yeah. Well, this was again like I want this on film. I want the heads in baskets, heads in piles. I want the people worshiping and then they slaughter them all and piss on the ashes. Like,
write the
happen.
Screenplay.
Because no Bible-fearing organization will ever put this on screen because it
I know.
puts the Bible in bad light.
I know. That's why, Yoav, what I've always wanted is for like a non-Christian, a non-religious person to say, I just really like the story and just tell it as is, include all the miraculous stuff and not try to even make it reasonable or logical. Because I think oftentimes religious people try to like do apologetics and be like, it's not that ridiculous, guys, come on. But instead I want someone to make it like it's a fantasy. Like I don't know how the Urim and Thummim work. I want it to work like some weird form of divination. All right. I want it as weird as possible. And I want it as bloody as possible. I want heads in baskets. I want all that stuff. So we end up with Marcion.
I think that they were pots and not baskets, because if they're put in basket, it'll attract too many flies.
Such a good point. Let's be reasonable, people. It's large cauldrons of heads. Yeah. Okay, I accept this. Either way, they're taken out at some point and put on display, I think.
Now, how do you reuse the jugs afterwards?
I don't know. You have images where sometimes the heads or like it someone was saying it may be like a display case. Like that's what it would turn into. That it's a display case, which people had of like usurping certain people, and here's the evidence that we did it.
Maybe this is why we have this habit every Pesach Eve to take all the pots and clean it very well with boiling water, just in case, because you don't know what happened last year.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, this was very good. I hope everyone here has a happy Passover, especially Yoav, and especially me. And a happy Easter for all those who are celebrating. I suppose everyone here is celebrating Passover in one way or another. One way or another.
And be suspicious of anybody who offers you a party for the Baal.
Yeah. Don't
go.
Don't go. Please don't go. Yeah. Stay safe. Stay good. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming out. This was look, we got great attendance. I don't care if anyone watches. I got so many people in. All right. They'll watch later. They come back throughout the week. So thank you so much. And again, please, my wife's name is Katie. My father-in-law is named Brian. There's a lot of stress that's happening in my family right now. We all love each other very much. For those who didn't catch the early bit, everyone's very happy with each other, but there's a lot of just Katie's dad, Brian, is going into a home. There's a lot of stress happening there, so we appreciate people's prayers in this time. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult Easter celebrating with the family. We're all devoted Christians, so there's a lot of happiness related to Easter. But for this weekend, I was thinking about it as related to that psalm. How can we pray the Lord's Prayer in a foreign land, right? Like it's going to be a mixture of happiness and sadness. And just the way it worked out this year, we're celebrating Easter on Good Friday, which seems appropriate to me. That we're going to try to be rejoicing, but we're going to be sad. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thank you for keeping me in my prayers. And I really do. I love everyone for coming out. Thank you. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.
Take it easy.